Prosecutors say Alex Baranyi planned to murder the Wilson family before he turned 18 so he'd get a lighter sentence. He was convicted in adult court and sentenced to life in prison without parole. But nearly 3 decades and a Supreme Court ruling later, he learned today his sentence will be reduced.
Then later they sneaked into Mr. and Mrs. Wilson's bedroom to murder them.
Alex Baranyi is now in his mid-40s, appearing in court again in 2024 for the brutal murders that he and his friend David Anderson carried out when they were 17.
You have been afforded the opportunity for resentencing in this case.
The 2012 Supreme Court ruling in Miller v. Alabama determined juveniles cannot be sentenced to life in prison without parole. That ruling meant a judge would have to resentence Baranyi for the murders of the Wilson family.
This case really is an outlier. This is not the typical juvenile offense that you see.
Baranyi and Anderson killed their former classmate Kim Wilson at a park, then went to her home to kill her parents Bill and Rose and her sister Julie. As for motive, prosecutors said Baranyi had a fascination with violence.
During a taped interview, Baranyi said he wanted to kill someone to experience something, quote, truly phenomenal.
As the convicted quadruple murderer left the courtroom,
no comment.
He simply smiled.
You've been forced to relive the events of this case while at the same time having very little control over this process.
Judge Jason Poydras issued a new sentence of 46 years to life, giving Baranyi credit for the 27 years he's already been in custody.
This was, as you said, calculated, premeditated, intentional, purpose-driven. They tried to cover up the crime. This is far different than a lot of the crimes that we see juveniles committing.
Baranyi will be eligible for parole in about 18 years. That puts him in his early 60s. Now, the Wilson family didn't speak in court or after, but they said in letters to the judge that they are angry about the resentencing and they are fearful if Baranyi is ever released from prison. Reporting in Seattle, Jeremy Harris, KOMO News.
The other man convicted in the Wilson murders, David Anderson, was resentenced in 2022 to 33 years in prison. Prosecutors successfully appealed that sentence, arguing it was too low. And now Wilson awaits a new sentencing hearing. Prosecutors said they plan to ask for the same 80-year sentence they asked for with Baranyi.